Alright people, so I made a bit of a discovery that Showdown has not quite correctly implemented into their server. Now this isn't the biggest thing in the world. In fact, they kind of did it half right against intuition, but basically the Pokemon Pawmot, in addition to getting the move Revival Blessing that revives your Pokemon, which isn't on Showdown yet by the way, also gets this move Double Shock. I had no idea it even existed until I was playing in the post game in the Area 0 crater when my Pawmot leveled up and learned this move. And it says it's basically an electric type physical burn up, which is pretty cool. 120 base power, 100 accuracy, 8 PP because it's a pretty strong move. Pawmot has 115 base attack, which isn't outstanding, but it's pretty decent, not half bad. 105 speed ain't bad either. But basically, the whole premise is when you use this move while you're terastalized, you get to keep the electric typing afterwards. But if we go on to the way that Showdown has it, we'll see that when I use the move, I'm electric fighting, of course, it's my natural stab, then pure electric as I prepare to go for the move, double shock. Oh, and it's pretty funny because I went up against this too at first endgame, but I think in the re-recording I went up against the Dunsparce. But it changes back to electric fighting even though it says I used up all my electricity. So not quite correct because as you'll see it should just stay pure electric. So if we think about the implications for that a little bit, unfortunately Pawmot is the only Pokemon to learn double shock, right? It's the only one. I don't know if they're going to add more in the future, and I'm not even sure if more will come with the DLC or with Gen 9 or whatever. But we can also think about the move Burn Up. Now unfortunately, from what I looked up, if we go back into Gen 9 OU, I don't think that Burn Up is in the game. Because nothing learns it. Arcanine is in the game, but it can't learn Burn Up. Which sucks because if we go back to this list of Pokemon, I mean Typhlosion, Moltres, Arcanine, Hisuian Typhlosion, which is slightly stronger. Imagine going for a base 130 power move, Overheat, over and over again with absolutely no drawback. And if you have to be terastalized for this to work. So it's basically adaptability burn up every single time. And you could slap on a Choice Specs, Choice Scarf. I mean, Flash Fire, the possibilities here are endless. You can use Ho-Oh, Imbor. Unfortunately, it seems like maybe that's why they decided to cut this move out of the game, because they realized how strong it would be on some of these mons. But they still decided to give it to Pawmot, it seems like. I guess they figure it might not be as strong as some of the other ones. And this is the only one that keeps it. Alright, so here I've got a Fortress because that's one of the few mons that is neutral to both electric and fighting. And it's pretty good defensively that I could think of off the top of my head. But we could see Double Shock here. Adaptability, of course, going off of the electric stab only. Versus Wild Charge. Wild Charge might not even be a 2 KO, and it of course has the recoil. Meanwhile, Double Shock more than 2 KOs. You can imagine though, Wild Charge base 90, Double Shock base 120, and then of course we could put the fighting close combat in there too. But close combat lowers your defense and special defense, which compared to something like High Jump Kick obviously is much better, or Superpower, much preferred to that. But Double Shock doesn't have any of that because you're terastalized the entire game, so you could just keep spamming this adaptability electric type move. The only drawback is that you've already terastalized, so you used it up. But if you want a good Pokemon or a decent one to use it on, you could use it on Pawmot. Like I said, I wish that there was other ones that you could use it on. Burn Up doesn't appear to be in the game. I'm not sure if they're going to add it in later, but if they ever do, then we know that we can use Burn Up with this strat as well. Because I know that what we like to do is use the move and then become typeless. While that does add interesting strategies defensively, Pawmot is not the best defensively. Its stats are mainly offensive. So if you could keep spamming this move, I think that's pretty beneficial. But let me know what you guys think. I know this isn't the hugest thing, but Showdown does need to correct this a little bit in their code, I guess. But they at least let you keep the electric type stab. That's pretty cool. So you're terrastalized, but then you still have both stabs. That's interesting too. I'm not sure. I just thought about this, that it resets both the electric and fighting type. I'm not sure if it lets you keep the electric adaptability on it, or if it just reset everything to be a fresh slate that you get normal stab. I'm not even sure if in the normal game if it lets you keep the adaptability boost. I haven't tested it enough, but this does need to be looked into further, so hopefully this video will go along the proper channels and they can test it out, and hopefully we'll find out if we can get burn up or more Pokemon with double shock in the game in the future. But that's it for today's video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.